Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Laws of Working Harder, Not Smarter. I'm your host, Lisa Lothian. On this show, my intent is to help you find more joy and freedom in your work life by using tools, tips, and techniques that help you increase productivity, reduce stress, and everything that can help you be more effective in your job to have more joy in your life. Tonight, we're going to be talking about three of my favorite tools to reduce stress. And I'm not going to go into the science of why that's important. Unless you live under a rock, you're probably aware that stress is a productivity robber, as well as something that contributes to health challenges and much, much more. So, first, let's talk a little bit about the sources of stress. And in this graph that shows where the sources of stress are, 46% of people report that their number one stressor is their workload. 28% are people issues, and I don't know why this whole graph isn't showing up the wordage, but everything else was work related. So it's not rocket science to figure out that if we can reduce our stress related to work, you're going to greatly reduce your overall stress. So the first tool that I want to share with you is meditation. And I know that's probably not anything new, but what I have found with my clients throughout the years is that people have a challenge meditating because they can't get rid of that monkey brain. And they find that it's not comfortable to sit in a lotus position for 30, 40 minutes and really, release themselves of that. They get focused on that uncomfortableness, so they're not really effective at getting into that meditative state. About a year and a half ago, I was at a summer cottage with some other ladies, and one of them is a mental health professional, and she handed me a book called Yoga Nidra. And I thought it was going to be on yoga, but I couldn't put it down when I started reading it. It was on a meditation technique that is an ancient technique. But the two things that I really love about it is that A, you're lying down. You're not sitting up during this type of meditation. And B, it's guided. So the voice that you listen to during the meditation distracts you from the monkey brain. It incorporates some great breathing techniques, as well as some techniques to focus on energetic blocks in the body instead of listening to your monkey mind that might be telling you what you need to put on your grocery list or think about what the kids are doing, etc. And the other cool thing is there's a fabulous app that you can subscribe to or download with 5 of the Yoga Nidra meditations. And we have a screenshot of that app. It's called I Am, which is one word. So it's IAM Yoga Nidra. So that's what you want to look for in the App Store. And that screenshot showed a couple of the 5 meditations that are on there. One is for sleep. One is what's called rapid recharge. That's one of my favorites. In the afternoon, if you start to drag, it's a 22-minute meditation to recharge your batteries. Others are for self-expression. There's just 5 fabulous meditations on that. And Yoga Nidra is said to, one meditation is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. So imagine if you can get that kind of restorative functionality just from a 22 to 35-minute meditation. It is a paid app. I believe it's like $6.99, or at least it was when I got it. That has been a little over a year ago, so it might have gone up a little bit, but the value for that app, I think you'll really, really enjoy it. So I encourage you to try it and let me know how you like it. Now, full disclosure, the next 2 tips I'm going to share with you, I am affiliated with. So you can always reach out to me with questions or assistance with them. But the next tip is really all about energy healing. I am a certified body talk practitioner, which is a modality of energy healing. And like all energy healing, the premise is that our body's communication mode is frequency. all of our organs, our cells, our endocrines, our body parts, our emotions communicate with each other by frequency. But stressors, whether it's emotional stress, chemical stress, physical stress, electromagnetic stress from our cell phones, those all have their own vibrations that don't match our body's vibrations, and they tend to put our frequencies out of their proper vibration. So one thing energy healing does is it restores our bodies to their proper healing frequencies so that our bodies can be the healing miracles that they were intended to be. So I know that's a lot to take in right now if you're not familiar with energy healing, but I can assure you that we see amazing things with it all the time. As a practitioner, I found it was difficult to, really help enough people because you can only help so many people an hour at a time, one-on-one. But last November, I got a tool called the Healy, and the Healy is a vibrational or frequency generator that creates programs, combinations of over 144,000 frequencies that are then grouped into programs to address different things. So what you do with the Healy, and it is a personal device that you wear that's run by an app. So first you can scan your body, and that scan will show you what things are most out of proper vibration. So in the app where you do the scan, it will show you out of the 150 or so programs that are available, which ones you can benefit the most in the moment. So let's say I'm going to focus on jobs because it's funny. Last night I did my scan, and what came up as my #1 program was jobs exhaustion. And I was just telling Blanca yesterday how tired I was, and I ran that program and it reinvigorated me. So again, these programs will address the stress in whatever area you have. And then you run a program. The program is sent by microcurrents. And that's a whole field of healing. And what microcurrents do is they carry the frequencies in a form that the body recognizes. We are actually electric beings. There's a great book called The Body Electric that explains this. But what happens is that whole program to help with, in that instance, exhaustion from your work, is directed to balance the frequencies that are out of balance because of work-related stress. And the microcurrents do some really cool things. They will help increase your ATP production, your protein synthesis, and your amino acid transport. So I know that might sound like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but again, what it means is that it really awakens the cells in a way that they can really receive these frequencies. And if you're local, I welcome you to email me at naturalbodybalance@gmail.com or text me at 561-703-2747 for a complimentary session, and you can see the Healy in action and see how it reduces your stress. Now, I do have to give the disclaimer. This is an FDA Class 2 medical device cleared by the FDA for the relief of pain, arthritic pain, and pain due to overexertion. Any other programs I discuss with you, I'm not saying that it is a cure, but it does help support the body in its own ability to overcome these stressors. The next of the 3 tips I have is to delegate. And a lot of big businesses are able to, let's say, hire their own accountants, hire their own bottle brush or dish cleaners, all of the things that they have the economies of scale to hire. It's a little bit harder for a small to medium-sized business, one of which is social media posting. So some of you have already heard me talk about the app Amy, and Amy is just one tool that can help you delegate. So since small businesses may not be able to hire their own social media assistant, Amy will fill that function for you. So what Amy will do is, based on your business category, it will curate and create with great graphics schedule and post all of your social media posting for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter in about 10 minutes for the whole month. And you then can go in and change or edit or decline or add more posts if you want. You know, if you have an event coming up, you can add that on the fly. So it's just really convenient. It saves you time. It saves you money. If you compare what it would cost to hire your own social media assistant and or use some of the other scheduling tools, either you won't get all the functionality that you will with Amy, or it's very cost prohibitive. Now, the bad news is it's not available yet, but it will be launching. It'll launch for Apple users in November, probably the end of November, early December, and then for Android users sometime by the end of the year is what we're projecting. We never know with the app stores, though, if that will shift a little bit, so stay tuned. But what I encourage you to do is go to worksmarterwithlisa.com. And on that page, first of all, there's a 1.5-minute demo of Amy. And secondly, there's a form where you can register to get notified of our launch. And actually, you'll get notified of our pre-launch. And that's really what you want to do, because during the pre-launch, for 72 hours before we launch, you will be able to get our most expensive package for the price of our least expensive package. So I want you to register, and we'll talk more about the pricing for that after you do so. But you know, once you go there, I can touch base with you. I'll get your email. It won't be used for any other purpose, and notify you of all the upcoming details about Amy. So again, this show is a recurring show every Wednesday where I'll be offering more tips, tools, and techniques to save you time, be more effective, be more efficient, and more healthy as it relates to running your business. And next week, my guest will be Charlie Janes. He's the certified executive coach for Focal Point Coaching. And he'll be sharing, among other things, how you can train your subconscious mind to help achieve your most important goals. So I would love for you to join us next week, share this with all your friends, and be part of it. So I see I finished a little bit early, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Healy, because I have found it to be one of the most impactful tools I've seen in my 20 years of working with natural health. And like I said, other than the pain relief, you know, I want you to just be aware that results will vary. But I'll start with pain relief. I have herniated discs in my lower back, and I had used some other energy healing tools previous to getting my Healy, and I had gotten rid of the back pain. But fast forward about 8 or 9 years after I had those tools, and it was coming back. And I really was, you know, scratching my head wondering why. And at the same time, I started to hear from other customers saying that they didn't feel like they were working as well as they used to. Now, those tools had a couple of hundred frequencies in each of the frequency devices. So honestly, I meditated on it, and it just came to me that the tools were still as strong as they had always been, but the stressors that we encounter, the chemicals in our environment, the lifestyles that we keep that just keep asking us to do more and more, the different stressors were piling up. So I meditated the next night and kind of went in with the question in my mind, so what are we going to do about that? And I kid you not, the next day I got a call with somebody telling me about Healy. And when I asked them what it was, they told me it had 144,000 frequencies, and I just knew that was the answer to my question the night before. It's been very serendipitous. So I got my Healy, and in addition to the back pain, I was experiencing some brain fog. Now, in the year previous, I had battled breast cancer, and I had multiple surgeries, and I believe that it was the anesthesia and pain meds during surgeries that was really contributing to my brain fog. When I got my Healy, I ran a program called mental, it was on the mental category. Inner Strength was the name of the program. And immediately it wiped away that brain fog. I was really astounded. Then I took it home and I ran the program for lower back pain, and my back pain was about 50 to 60% reduced. And over the next week or so, it was virtually gone. I've experienced that with dozens of my clients. And now I have over 5,000 people in my organization that are using the Healy, and the results have been very consistent for that. So again, I would love for you guys to reach out and come experience the Healy for yourselves. Some other things that it really helps with is sleeping. Another great, stress related issue is people that don't sleep well are more easily stressed. So if you can sleep well, you'll be more energized and more able to deal with stressors. Blanca, are you able to show the two screenshots for the Healy? So this is an example of a program. This is the one I ran last night for the fatigue related to jobs. So all of the programs are grouped into categories. So this is in the job category, and it's called fatigue. So if you can see in the top right corner, or not the top right corner, but just under the word fatigue, you see a number of hertz. So that's one frequency that this program is providing to the body. It acts like a tuning fork and puts things back into balance. A program will typically have 50, 60, 100 different frequencies depending on the program. I'm going to move over so you can see me. And all of those frequencies are in an algorithm to help address whatever you're working on. And on the left under fatigue, you see the duration of the program. They're usually about, well, they range anywhere from 20 minutes to about 60 minutes. And as you can see here, I'm running a program now. You attach the Healy, which is this little device, to your wrist electrodes, and that's what's carrying the microcurrents to send the frequencies deeply and effectively into your body. And it does customize the program the whole time it's running. Every time it sends a frequency, it will assess your body with its quantum sensor, which then indicates if you still need that frequency. If it's already been brought into balance, the program will drop that frequency to send you more of what you still need, instead of it keeps sending you frequencies rather that you don't still need. So are you able to show the other overlay of the Healy? Okay, this is actually the one that precedes the program itself. We have a resonance application in our largest model. This doesn't come with all of the models, but this is a result of a scan, a resonance scan that scans your body first and tells you what programs you can benefit from the most. So again, this was the scan I did on myself last night that told me that I should run the, I think this is it. Yeah, for the job programs, I needed to run a program to overcome fatigue. And the number that you see next to it is the percentage of how much your body needs it. So the higher the number, the more your body's asking for it. It's a phenomenal way to balance your body in so many different ways. I'm also a detox practitioner. There are detox programs. And just to give you an idea, my previous protocol that I used for detox was a minimum of 3 months long, and it ran about $1,500. And I'm doing some testing with some of my clients now and finding that in about a week and a half, they're getting the results that I was previously getting that previously took me at least 2 months to get, sometimes 3 or 4 months. So it's really compressed that whole process. And again, chemicals are stress. If you have toxins in your body, those are stressors. That contributes to brain fog, to disrupted sleep, to hormonal imbalance, that all cascade back into stress. So as you can see, you know, it's a whole holistic way to address stress in your life if you use some of these tools. And it's funny, when I thought of the topic I wanted to talk about tonight and thought of stress, and then I mean, there's many ways that you can reduce stress and many others that I could share, but I really wanted to share some that, like I said, were very convenient. And I wasn't intending to share three things that were app related, but it just worked out that way. So somebody told me once that whenever you scratch your head, you can say, oh, there's an app for that. So tonight really drove that home a little bit. And I do love apps. I love working with the Amy and the Healy, and I'm happy to share more details with anybody. So reach out. You can, again, go to worksmarterwithlisa.com to register for the Amy pre-launch. I do have a website, 144kfrequencies.com. You can get more information on the Healy there. On the second page of that website that you click by saying, I want more information about Healy, you can scroll down and see each of the program pages to get an idea of what other programs there are. And I look forward to your questions and comments about that. So we have 3 minutes left, and I don't know if there's anybody here that wants to put something in the chat if you have a question, but we'll be looking out for that while I talk just a little bit more. Let's see. Back to meditating. The Yoga Nidra Center that app is put out by is in Northern Florida. So I know most people are residents of South Florida. So you can look that up online too. It's the Amrit method of Yoga Nidra. And we would maybe down the road we can do a trip to visit that together. So thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next week.